Welcome to today's episode of Broadway Buzz. Today, I'm joined by an amazing actress who has an incredible journey through the world of theater, with credits like The Secret Life of Bees, 42 Balloons, and of course, the West End's Hadestown. Madeline Charlemagne was a part of the original London company of Hadestown while also understudying Eurydice. She eventually would take over the role of Eurydice and would later return to the production as a Fate when the original Broadway cast came to London for a limited run for the ProShot. Today, we're going to talk about the entire journey from joining Hadestown, stepping in as Eurydice, returning as a Fate, filming the production, and the response she's received since the film came out. Madeline, thank you so much for joining me here today. How are you?
Good, Piers. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm so happy to have you on today.
Thanks for asking.
Yes, yes. So I like to start the show off just having my guests introduce themselves for audience members
Mhm.
who don't know who they are. So could you just give us a little rundown of who you are?
Okay. Pressure. My name is Madeline Charlemagne. I'm an actor, performer, person, from London. My family is from St. Lucia. I don't know what else to say. I feel like how bad is that? You literally said my CV and I was like, that's it. That's who I am. But no, we have to separate
Do
that
you want to
out.
talk about where you went to school and like your training?
Ah, that's good. Yes. So I went to the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama. I graduated 5 years ago now. And I studied on the BA Acting Musical Theatre course there. Um, but before that, I did a pre-drama school program called Open Door. I was actually in the first group of Open Door, and they give free drama school auditions to low income young people with low income backgrounds across the UK, which was instrumental in getting me into drama school in the first place. So I have a lot to thank them for. And yes, if you are in that position, then you should apply. I think applications are still open for this year, or maybe defer till next year. But yeah, go Open Door.
Yeah, for sure. When did you realize that you wanted to pursue theater professionally?
um, I feel like I am in the same boat as many people in our industry in that I always knew that I wanted to do this. The story goes that I was a toddler and I would dance in front of my grandma's TV, and she asked my mum to please take me somewhere else so I can go and do that so that she could see the TV. And the rest is kind of history. In the UK, we have, I mean, everywhere, but in the UK, people will recognize like Stagecoach or Jigsaw, like these musical theatre weekend schools that I did growing up. And then I'm very lucky to be born and raised in London because we have an incredible theatre scene here and so many opportunities, amateur dramatic opportunities. So I did the National Youth Theatre, Youth Music Theatre. I did the Royal Court Young People, the Lyric Hammersmith Theatre Young People groups. I did everything that I could get my hands on. uh, and yeah, very lucky to have had those opportunities to perform and to teach. I learned how to teach as a young person, and I'm a teacher now. And I get to go to drama schools and go abroad and around like London and the UK to teach. So very lucky. Yeah.
Nice. That's very impressive. Let's get into Hadestown. So you were in the original London company as one of the Fates. Do you want to talk about the audition process for Hadestown?
Yes. So I had 5 rounds of auditions for Hadestown. We go back to the summer of 2023. So funnily enough, that spring had done the show you mentioned, Secret Life of Bees. Um, at the Almeida Theatre, and a few of my colleagues had done longer contracts, which I was quite inspired by because up until then, I was 2 years out of drama school. I had only done, on purpose, I'd only done short contracts, which I love, meet new people, get to do new work and get in and get out again and try something else new. But yeah, after 2 years of being in the industry, I was like, I'd love some job security, and was inspired by my colleagues to find that. And funnily enough, that is when the kind of rumor announcement of Hadestown coming to the UK came out. So I said, yeah, I'd love to do that. But me just saying that didn't get me the job. I actually had to work for it. And so yes, my first round was for Eurydice. And then for my second round, they were like, try Fate instead. And I said, yeah, sure. Uh, Danced to Chips and sang Chips. And then did my third round was for a Fate. And my fourth round was for Fate Eurydice cover. And then my fifth round was actually just with, not just with, but I met Rachel Chavkin and just did Eurydice material with her. And so, yeah, those are my 5 rounds. And I got Fate and then waited a little while longer and then got first cover Eurydice. So yeah, that was my audition process.
Nice. Yeah, you mentioned you were understudying Eurydice, but you were also playing a Fate.
Mm.
How were you able to manage performing and portraying them differently?
Well, luckily, they're quite different. I love acting for many reasons, but I like being able to access like different parts of myself through the different characters. And being a Fate is very freeing because you get to be as sexy and scary and volatile as you like to be because they can, they have so much power that they can do what they like. And then you have Eurydice, who's on the total opposite end of the spectrum. She is the one who is the victim, right? Depending on how you look at the story. And so playing somebody who has no power and in fact has been given like a pseudo choice of whether she decides to go to Hadestown or not. And it's a pseudo choice because she is hungry and cold. And so what else was she going to do but walk towards what she thought was the promised land for her? So I think them being so different was really like a blessing for me as an actor to get to just do things that are so totally different from each other, but still like within the realm of who I am as a person. Like this, be scary or be somebody with a lot of fight, and vulnerable. And so I think have I answered your question? Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that was nice. Um, did you have any characteristics for Eurydice that kind of made her your own? Did you do anything special for her?
Eurydice was the first time I ever made a character playlist. It wasn't even a choice, I don't think. I just had all of this music would just come to me. I love music so much, and I have like a very like varied taste, and so I would just be listening to songs, and I'm like, oh, this is like Roberta Flack's The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face is like that moment when she knocks into Orpheus at the beginning, or when they have like their 15 minutes of being in love with like no hardship. That really reminds me of this Adele song called Daydreamer and how she might view Orpheus. And so that was really cool because it happened. I didn't plan on doing it. It happened very organically. And there were honestly so many songs. Little Big Girl by Anais Mitchell. Obviously, when you like the fact that the composer's work is kind of transcended the musical that she created and getting to listen to the rest of her discography and find like flashes of what was to be Hadestown is super cool. So I'd say that was a big part of it for me.
Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. I never heard about that, making a playlist for a character, but that's cool. Yeah, it also puts you into the mindset of the character.
Yeah, definitely. And also different like moments of the story. And I guess I kind of see things like a movie in my head and like this, like taking out scenes and turning them into cinema or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was super helpful for character and for storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah, even like if you think about it, like the other lyrics could be other thoughts that your character is having. So it's like just expanding your character work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So towards the end of your run, the original Broadway cast came over to London for months of performances, and you returned as a Fate. Did you have a different take as the Fate after playing Eurydice?
um, uh, you know, I would say instead of it feeling different, it felt like a homecoming. Um, to get to return to something that I had been able to originate in the sense of like that was the first time it had been done on the West End. And also, I think the beauty of Hadestown is that everybody can inhabit it like as themselves. I never feel like you have to be a carbon copy of what somebody else has done. But yes, to answer your question, instead of it feeling new, it felt like completing the circle of my time at Hadestown, and also the real joy of getting to watch the original Broadway cast. In my career so far, I've had the privilege of doing a show twice and then getting to see these five amazing performers, six actually, including Philip, um, getting to see them uh, do this material that they have poured over for years was great. It was awesome. It was, very special. That's not something that you see all the time. So yeah, and I think it shows in the film. I think it shows in the film.
Yeah, it's the film is really special. I
Mm,
cried so much watching that.
yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the film?
Let's do it.
So, what was that process like for you with how many performances were filmed?
I believe three or four performances were filmed. Um, I'm not 100% sure, like, which made the edit the most. I would assume. Okay, actually, yeah, three or four performances were filmed, but then we were filming for 4 days before that without any audience. So it's a real beautiful blend of the two. All I can say is that I remember the Friday, which is our first film performance, our first time actually performing the entire show with Patrick Page in his slightly altered track with his awesome Hades boot because of his torn Achilles. Myself especially, even makes it into the cut of my track changing slightly in order to accommodate his injury at the time. Um, yeah, I've lost your question, but I just remember the Friday being amazing. Like I had not been nervous to perform Hadestown in a very, very long time. And on that Friday, I remember feeling a whole bunch of nerves in a very exciting way. It was electric. It will always be kind of up there for me as a real cool experience to perform because I don't know, after doing something for over 400 performances, it's kind of hard to feel nervous, which is kind of nice, and it has its pros and cons. So yeah, to have that real energy and the buzz in the room was really epic.
Nice. When you guys were filming the pro shot, did anything unexpected happen? Was there anything that you didn't expect to happen?
Oh, I'd just say, which I wish made it to the film, but we had some bloopers that I just were just hilarious.
Oh, dang.
Obviously, uh like when you're filming, we were on a very tight schedule, um and so things would happen, and like we felt and slash had to kind of keep going until the cameras cut. But I mean, there were like certain sort of mishaps that would happen, and when people like fake laugh and they shake their shoulders, there was like genuine shoulder shaking of laughter, trying to hold it together when they're trying to hold it for the end of that take, and it's like this can never be used because we're actually all losing it. Like it's really brilliant, and I think it's just the added extra tiredness from the fates having to come in at what 8 a.m. to do our makeup by ourselves before filming even starts, and we're exhausted and we're working really hard and we're under hot sweaty lights, and then something funny happens and you just can't hold it together and it all feels extra worth it. So yeah, I wish that was in the film, but I didn't necessarily expect all the laughs, because it's such a tight schedule and such hard work. But yeah, that was a joy as well.
Yeah, they should release like a blooper reel or something.
I think so. I pay to see that.
Yeah, me too. And like an extra $5 or something. Yes, please. Do you want to talk about any special experiences you've had with Hadestown?
um, yes, I a couple special experiences. Um, the kind of, I don't know what to call them, extracurricular activities that we got to do. We sang, we performed Wait for Me at the big night of musicals in Manchester. That was, I think, a month or a few weeks before our very first preview back in 2024. That was awesome. The scale of that set, we weren't even wearing our costumes yet. Um, sorry, I say set, the arena. I want to say 20,000. I could be talking complete nonsense, but it was just a lot of people. And then it was on a Monday night. So when we went out afterwards, it was just stagey people, all the big night music, like all the performers were out. And so we just had a good time, and that was but you know what really made it is there was a train delay because of a storm. So we took a coach there, and it was like a tour bus or something. It was just the whole experience was really wholesome and cool. And then also we were performed at the Olivier's, which is so amazing. Like, didn't even really think about the fact that we were nominated at the time. It was just getting to perform at the Olivier's with the incredible. I mean, I love our little band of seven in Hadestown, and the fact they're on stage and they're so talented and just make the show. But getting to play with, I want to say, gosh, these numbers, who knows where they're coming from, Pierce. I want to say a 16-piece orchestra. That's like the fullness of that sound on the in the Royal Albert Hall was awesome. And then finally, the swings and I randomly, we have our offstage swings at Hadestown, and there's a group of five of them, or there were at the time when I was at Hadestown. But one of the swings couldn't make it, so they asked me to join as well. We got to go to the Hay on Wye festival, which is sort of Wales side, and Anais was also performing at this festival because she was signing, she was promoting her book, Hadestown book, and so we'd met Anais already, but getting to perform with Anais and then go back to the hotel and jam with her afterwards was awesome. And I think it also played, I had covered the day before and she watched the show. And I definitely think that that experience had an impact in me playing Eurydice. So I think, yeah, very thankful for that. And as well as it being cool in and of itself, I think it really helped me in my journey.
Yeah, it sounds like Hadestown is really, really special to you. Now that the production has released, how has been the response and the feedback you've gotten personally?
It's been incredible, and it's kind of like we knew it would be, but then you also have a healthy amount of doubt because we're, artists, I suppose. But hearing the response and how well it's done already, with just a North American release, it's like, yeah, well, of course. I've never known anyone like the Hadestown fans. Like, they ride hard for this musical, and which is, so deserved, and like it's just so their enthusiasm makes it. I watching getting to see the show on the screen, like you never get to see yourself, you never get to see your work. Like, I kind of got an inkling into how much it means to so many people. Of course, I already knew that having been on the show, but like it just really brought it to the fore. Yeah, yeah, people have been very sweet. But it's I think it's about the group, um, the efforts of the entire group. Like, it's not one singular thing that makes the thing. So yeah, everything about it, I think, is awesome. I'm very excited for people in the UK and Australia and New Zealand and Ireland to get to see it.
Yeah, the world deserves to see it. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
What has Hadestown taught you? I know it's taught you a lot of things, but what has it taught you as a performer, would you say?
It has taught me to fully believe in yourself. Um, I think because then you really feel the loss of that if you don't. I think it's taught me that if you're given an opportunity, then you need to go for it 100%. Um, Even more than you already think you do, because instead of looking back on things and wishing that you'd done that extra 10%, you should just do that 10% in the moment, which is saying a lot because I remember at the time thinking, wow, I really want to milk this. And feeling like I was and did. But then obviously hindsight is 2020, and it's like, no, girl, you should have gone more. So yeah, I will always carry that feeling of like, you must fully enjoy this moment and shout from the rooftops about this thing because the present moment's all we really got. So yeah, that's less about performance and more life lesson. Yes.
No, that was good. I like that. That and it's true. You need to live in the present because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Mm.
You mentioned in the beginning of the episode that you were a teacher. What advice do you have for young actors who are hoping to build a career in theater professionally?
I would say welcome. I look forward to meeting you on a first day one day. It's not so far away as you may think it is. It will take a lot of hard work, and then you'll blink and you'll be doing the thing that you've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. And then you realize that you have a job to do and you've got bills to pay, and you have to keep like the fire burning inside of like the reason why you decided to do this in the first place. So never hold on to the joy that it gives you, never hold on to the purpose that it gives you. Keep working hard. You literally, it's so possible for you. Don't feel don't make to be no don't make anything feel like it's not. It's extremely hard. You will have moments of ease, but I would definitely say it's extremely hard. Now I want to preface that because the easy bits can feel really easy, but the hard bits can feel really hard. So yeah, I would say definitely uh keep also watering your other passions, because they are just as important to your art and to your life. Um, yeah, I have so much to say to my students. They'll tell you too much to say to them, but yeah, that's my like general advice.
Thank you. Yeah. Before we wrap up, do you have anything else you'd like to add on?
Book your tickets to go see the Hadestown film in October.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today, Madeline. It was great to hear about your journey with Hadestown and everything about being a teacher and your audition process, the filming process. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Thank you. I so appreciate it, and I hope to speak to you again soon.
Yes, of course. Everyone be sure to follow Madeline on Instagram at Mad Charlemagne. I will tag her on my Instagram at Broadway Buzz. And thank you all for listening to today's episode. Make sure to follow me wherever you get your podcasts at Broadway Buzz Podcast on Instagram. We have YouTube, Spotify. I'm Pierce Ream. I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to Broadway Buzz. Thanks, Madeline.